So this is our second recording from the Illiad on epic form and how it pertains to the book. Would anyone like to start us off?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I was for the first time. They put a lot of value. All the characters in the Iliad have strong values and have a lot of pride. Like Achilles ignores common sense and doesn't help in the fight until Agamemnon comes and asks for forgiveness. And then also, there's so many characters, Homer has to kill them off because it's hard to keep track of them, even though it's a really good story and they're really important to the story.
With the values though, there's a reason why they're there, and it's so the story can get told and sort of catch on with the people who hear it. And I could sort of imagine too, as of oral tradition, you probably have people telling the story over like a campfire to children and whatnot, and they want those children to have the same values that are portrayed in the story. Great example is Achilles giving Paris's dead body back to his father for a proper burial. Although he killed him, he felt bad and definitely put emphasis on and believed that he deserved a proper burial and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I think that Achilles, there are other values, like Achilles got killed by Paris from an arrow in his heel.
Yeah.
And that's like a common thing that people refer to now.
Yeah.
Even though he was like an
Achilles'
invincible...
heel, yeah.
Yeah, he was like an invincible warrior, but just a small arrow to the heel, it just like killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're definitely really right about the oral tradition because, I don't know, I think it's curious that you said that because when I was reading it, I found that a lot of, like, epics, just in general, are often so based on legend and a lot about... What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I had something on the tip of my tongue. They're all based on, like, legend and, you know, they're the kind of thing that, like, when you're like they're all written in like the olden days, and you find that a lot because in the olden days they didn't have like a written source. I mean, they had a language, but it was rare to be able to write.
Plus Homer was blind, right? Maybe.
Maybe. Also, I imagine it was pretty inconvenient writing 900 pages without a printing press.
Hey, I mean, yet another legend. You never know.
Yeah.
But so they all had to like tell each other stories and keep the legends up through oral tradition, and so that's why you find a lot less of this kind of writing nowadays because, you know, you can just read a book or watch it on TV or whatever, and I don't know. Also combined with the fact that epics are notorious for digressing a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed that when you were reading
definitely.
it, but oh my gosh, Homer was wandering all over the place. He would start talking about something, and next thing you know, he was recounting the story of another person's life, completely irrelevant to, like, what was going on at hand. And, so I thought that was interesting.
Well, it adds perspective. It makes it more omniscient. It's not like he's following one person. He gets a bigger picture of the whole story.
Yeah, and plus he doesn't involve himself in the story, except in those 2 times in the beginning, right?
Yeah. Also, when looking at it, the way he describes it makes you feel like you're actually there. I mean, you have the epithets and whatnot.
You feel like you know the characters and, like, what kind of people they were.
You know what they look like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. The digressions all had, like, some sort of purpose. Like, I don't know, like when they were talking about all the deaths in between the battles, you know how he would like stop between each like day and nightfall when they'd all like calm down. He'd talk about the lives and like everybody that had fallen and like everything they'd hoped, not just from the war but like from their future, and that definitely added to the story because it gave mood and like assessed like the gravity of the situation.
Plus, when he digresses, there's so much more to the story besides the killing and the battles, and it adds more depth to the story, as you said.
Makes it interesting. Makes it a story worth telling.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The whole thing you were saying about the omniscient also, that definitely is a big part of epics. Especially with Homer's epics.
Yeah. But even with the gods, you can tell what they're thinking because Homer describes it too.
Yeah.
Maybe with the Odyssey it was a little different because it followed Odysseus more.
Yeah.
But it did jump around.
Well, he went around the world too, right?
He wanted to include everyone to get different angles.
Yeah, he got his wife in some chapters in some of the books and went all over the place.
Yeah.
But definitely evident in the Iliad as well.
Yeah. But I mean, he never really included himself, except at the beginning. If you notice it, both of them at least.
It was like the muse thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only time he would include himself in the story, is to address the muse. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
by the way, just a recap of our names. I'm Louisa.
He's Cameron. I'm Kenjo.
Okay.
Are you gonna steal my thunder?
All right, that's good.
Okay.
Bye.